In the tranquil suburbs of Chicago during the 1970s, an unimaginable horror was quietly unfolding. This is the story of John Wayne Gacy, a man whose heinous crimes earned him the infamous moniker the Killer Clown. Early life and psychological background. John Wayne Gacy was born on March 17, 1942. His early life was marred by an abusive father who constantly belittled him, leaving deep psychological scars. Despite health issues and a troubled childhood, Gacy sought validation and success. He moved to Waterloo, Iowa, in the 1960s, where he managed KFC restaurants and started his family. However, it was here that Gacy's dark side began to emerge. In 1968, he was convicted of sexually assaulting 2 teenage boys and sentenced to 10 years in prison, though he served only 18 months. The creation of Pogo the Clown. After his release, Gacy returned to Chicago, started a construction business, and became an active community member. He created the persona Pogo the Clown, performing at local events and further hiding his sinister inclinations behind a mask of normalcy. The murders begin. Between 1972 and 1978, Gacy lured young men and boys to his home with promises of work or friendship. These victims were often vulnerable and in need of money or guidance. Once inside his house, Gacy would overpower them using a trick involving handcuffs. He then subjected them to prolonged torture and sexual assault before strangling them to death. Gacy's need for control and power drove his sadistic actions. Discovery and arrest. Gacy's crimes began to unravel on December 11, 1978, when 15-year-old Robert Pius went missing. Pius had mentioned meeting a contractor about a potential job. When he didn't return home, police linked his disappearance to Gacy. A search warrant led investigators to Gacy's home, where they discovered the remains of multiple victims buried in the crawl space and nearby rivers. The trial and conviction. Gacy's trial began on February 6, 1980, attracting massive media attention. The prosecution presented overwhelming evidence, including survivor testimonies and detailed descriptions of the bodies found. Gacy's defense attempted an insanity plea, but the jury was unconvinced. On March 13, 1980, Gacy was found guilty of 33 counts of murder and sentenced to death. Life on death row execution. Gacy spent 14 years on death row, continuing to deny full responsibility for his actions. He gave interviews, often downplaying his involvement. On May 10, 1994, Gacy was executed by lethal injection. His last words were reportedly, "Kiss my ass," a final act of defiance. Conclusion and legacy. John Wayne Gacy's story is a chilling testament to the potential for evil to hide behind a mask of normalcy. His ability to lead a double life while committing horrific crimes makes his case particularly compelling. Gacy's complex motives, rooted in a troubled past and a need for control, provide insight into the mind of a serial killer. For students of psychology, Gacy's case offers a deep and disturbing look into the factors that can drive an individual to such extreme behaviors. His legacy serves as a grim reminder of the importance of vigilance and understanding the psychological underpinnings of criminal behavior. End with a reflective shot of Gacy's house, now empty and abandoned, with somber music playing. John Wayne Gacy, the Killer Clown, will forever be remembered not only for his horrific crimes but also as a subject of study in understanding the darkest aspects of human nature. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for more true crime stories.